We are going to have a raffle afterwards. We're going to give away some stuff. Janaea is back there, excited to throw some things at you. Janaea, did you hand out tickets already to everybody? Okay. Yeah, if you, or maybe like raise your hand, Janaea will bring you a ticket. If you didn't get a ticket walking in, take a ticket. She's going to be raffling away some prizes and stuff, so make sure we do that. So we're going to do that after we finish the recording. Okay? Any questions before we begin?
So you have to stay.
That's right. We're trying to keep you here. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. It depends. Okay. You ready, Drew?
No.
Okay, cool. Me neither. So I think it's time to go. Oh,
Yep.
We got some questions coming in. Okay, cool. All right, you ready? Like, actually, are you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Ready enough? You got your notes?
I mean, yeah.
You don't have your paper printed out, man. You're like,
No, I
digital.
don't. All right, no, we're good. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, welcome everybody to episode number 146 of the Goulet Pencast, where fountain pens are still a thing. Hey! Look at that. That is not a soundtrack. We are in a room with at least 100 people. I'm not sure how many, but we will have some footage here to show the overly excited crowd that we have here. But anyway, this is the Pencast, where fountain pens are still a thing. I am Brian Goulet.
I'm Drew Brown.
And we're here from Goulet Pens to deliver this casual and informal, tangential and extraneous, superfluous and extemporaneous fountain pen show, where we talk about what's going on at the Goulet Pen Company and the DC Pen Show and in our fountain pen lives. So in today's show, we're going to be talking about the DC Pen Show because we are at the DC Pen Show 2024 here in the Falls Church Marriott. And it's a special one because it's the 15th anniversary this year of Goulet Pens. And this is actually the 15th anniversary. Yeah, thank you. This is also special for me because it's my 15th anniversary of discovering fountain pens. So those of you who don't know, a lot of you probably do because I've told the story a million times, but I knew nothing about fountain pens. I was a pen maker making rollerballs and ballpoints for corporate gifts and stuff. A friend of mine told me about this thing, this show, whatever, up in DC where fountain pen people get together and talk about pens. And I was like, what is that? And they're like, it's sort of like a Comic-Con for fountain pens. And I was like, okay, I got to see what this is all about. So I walked in here on a Saturday morning. As you all who are here on Saturday morning know, there's thousands of people in here with like fishing vests filled with pens in their pockets and all that. And I had no idea. And I walked into it and I was like, what in the world is this? In a good way. I was like, this is really interesting and special. And I got to figure out what's going on with these fountain pen things. And honestly, it was like kind of an epiphany. For me, it was like, I really need to look into fountain pens and see what that's all about. And that was really what got the ball rolling for me. So it's a special place for me every year at the show to kind of rediscover that and acknowledge that. So just wanted to share that. You all think it's pretty cool. So, it's going to be a little bit different format than we do with our typical Pencast here. We try to keep some of it, but obviously it's going to be live. So what we're going to do is we're going to be taking some live questions from everybody. We have an app that people are going to be able to ask questions while we're talking. We're going to have plenty of tangents, plenty of banter, and plenty of nonsense that will come throughout. But that's it. We're not going to do a pen spotlight necessarily or anything like that.
No, unless you have something special in that little case of yours.
I did pick up a couple of pens, so we could do a pen spotlight of sorts if you really want to. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, so we can start out with some feedback, I guess, but we don't have it like written out. But we've been at the show, literally receiving feedback real time for this entire time. So we're just going to kind of riff a little bit off the top of our heads about some of the feedback that we've gotten that maybe sticks out to us the most. So have you got anything top of mind for you, Drew?
Yeah, people don't like me at all. Yeah. It's just like, my presence is offensive.
Oh, yes,
overall.
Of course.
That's, they didn't say that, but
they said it in their eyes. You could tell.
Yeah. Well, one person took it upon themselves to post an affront to me. Very, very aggressive libel, I should say, in the form of this piece of nonsense. So.
So what?
So
you have to explain this.
I don't want to. Do I have to? Okay.
Yeah, you can explain.
So last year, someone in the audience using this app that we're using right now. That's fine.
I want to make sure everybody gets a clear view of it.
We're good. Last year, someone asked, "Hey, Brian, if Drew was a fountain pen, what would he be?" And someone asked Drew, "If Brian was a fountain pen, what would he be?" Before Brian had a chance to answer, somebody in the audience said, "Tool pen," because I don't particularly care for the Monteverde tool pen, so they thought that was funny. And this year, because I gave apparently too entertaining of a reaction, decided to take it one step further and post missing tool pen with yours truly's face on it. I did learn that this is the exact moment where I was offended by the question.
That's fantastic.
So it's literally a screenshot of my initial reaction. So it says also answers to turkey, hammock, and blockhead. So
blockhead.
Don't say it. I said it because I was reading it, but you don't actually look at me and say it.
I did get asked several times if I'm the one that put that up, and I was like, no, I can't take credit for that.
I got asked several times, like, is someone mad at you, Drew? Like no. It's all in good fun.
Love.
You
it's
know,
out of love.
There's a lovable troll out there somewhere.
That's awesome.
But anyway, so yeah, apart from that, everybody has been very pleasant. Yeah.
Yes.
So no, it really has been, and I say the same thing every year, but it blows my mind and kind of just like melts me into a puddle of gratitude when I hear that this is valued to the extent in which that it is valued by some people, and it just like humbles me immensely and makes me so appreciative not only to have the opportunity to do this, but to be able to connect with all of you. Normally we're looking through there and I have to picture this, but that is the beautiful thing, because when we do get back to the studio, I'm going to see this in there, and it's just a very, very special thing. So
like yesterday we were, when you first showed up, we were eating dinner and I just looked up, I said, "Oh my gosh, there's Drew."
That's right.
She had to run back, come back, get her phone.
Yeah.
It's
been special, and I've been absolutely more so excited to meet everybody than everybody is to see us. So it's like a battery, it just recharges you, and then you just take it for the rest of the year until the next DC Pen Show. It just drives you and motivates you, and just every time we finish one of these episodes, I still feel that kind of residual energy from what I get here, and it's a delight. And I don't mind being completely overloaded and crippled by it, like I was at the end of the day yesterday, because I was laying on the floor right there for a good amount of yesterday. No one saw me unless they walked by. They might have seen two little, Chuck Taylor feet poking out of the corner. But it's okay.
Like the Wicked Witch of the East.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but I survived, and ready to pencast it up.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah, it's been interesting for me because I've been going to this show, except during COVID, which got disrupted a little bit. But I've been to the show, over a dozen times, and going from the very first one, where of course I was a nobody and I knew nothing, to then next year that I went, Rachel and I actually worked the show in 2010. We sold some stuff, and that was the last time we said we were going to do that because it was exhausting. So credit to all the vendors here. It is so much work, and to do that, I mean, the love and the passion that runs throughout this whole community, it is not just you all, it's all the suppliers, it's the pen show coordinators, it's everybody. This is really something fueled by passion, which was evident to me from the moment I stepped in here 15 years ago. So it's always a nice refresher for me. It's like marking time every year to see like how much has changed. And one of the biggest impacts for me has just seen how many new people are still getting into fountain pens. New people are discovering it, whether it was during COVID. Honestly, the number of people I ran to were just in 2024. They discovered fountain pens, started watching our videos, and have just completely fallen in love and have been welcomed into this community and all that. That's so validating for me, because when I came in here 15 years ago, part of my impression was, wow, there are no young people at this thing. How in the world? And I was 25 at the time, and I would consider that to be young. And so I stepped into this and I was like, how are like the next generation, how are younger people, how's the next generation going to discover these really cool pens if it's not, where they are? Because they, growing up, we didn't use fountain pens in school. We were barely taught cursive, and now that's optional in most schools. And so it's like, how is this good thing going to keep going? And that's what sparked the initial idea to do videos and education and all the things that you've seen us do over the last 15 years. So to see that now having played out over the years and see how many new people, how many young people, much greater diversity, backgrounds, everybody coming into it, I'm like, wow, this is really cool to see to have this, played out for kind of that vision that I saw for it 15 years ago. So that's kind of a general feedback, but it's been something that I'm just like beside myself to see where things have gone in 15 years. So it's been amazing. This is like the best community people. Nobody's mad at each other. Nobody's talking politics. Nobody's, there's so much crap out there in the real world, and we just get to come in here and be in our little pen bubble. And it's just such a beautiful safe haven from all the pressures of the world, right? And that's really special for me. So yeah, thank you all. Thank you all. We're all a part of that. We're all a part of that. Yeah.
Are your kids pen people?
Am I kids pen people?
The kids are all teenage. Well, are they teenagers?
Oh yeah. My kids are 12 and 14 now. So my son is going to be starting high school in 2 weeks, which is crazy. It's crazy. Yes. Rachel's now the runt of the family. She's the smallest because both kids are taller than her, feet are bigger than her. It's just crazy. But, we feel like, we look in the mirror and we're kind of like, yeah, I guess I kind of feel the same as I have. And then, we look at our kids and we're like, oh no, we're a lot older than we used to be. So, that's fun. A lot of people have asked where Rachel is this weekend. She's not here. She's resting at home, doing the kid thing because school's about to start and we got a lot to get ready there. But it's fun for me to come and represent our company, represent the Goulet family. So that's been a good time. So you got anything else stand out at you, Drew?
A disturbing number of you have seen every Pencast.
Yes.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
No, I'm shocked. And I'm not triggering some sort of trauma in you right now when you're telling me this. And no, I haven't even seen a full episode. So
yeah, it's true. We record this and we're like, yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Except for the one that I edited. I edited one of them. We have a part-time, editor that does them. But the one time I did it and it was terrible.
Awesome.
What's up?
I want Drew to know that his poster that's plastered all over the hotel has generated some sympathy. My wife turned to me on Friday and said, "Oh, look at this poor man who lost his tool pen." She's not a pen person. She said, "Should we buy him one?"
Yes, that would be even better.
The gentleman was just saying that his wife thought that this poor gentleman lost his tool pen. So, no, that is not the case. This gentleman is allegedly the tool pen.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we want to talk about some new stuff.
Yeah, let's do it. So, we have some new stuff on our site all the time, so we'll just cover some of that very briefly.
I want to talk about the blue Lilliput.
Okay, well, let's just jump right into that, Drew.
Who's excited about the blue Lilliput? Like the green Lilliput is one of my favorite pens. It's one of the 3 that I have inked up right now. Mm-hmm. It's only $60. It writes amazingly well, and it's like half the price or more of the rest of the Lilliputs. So yeah, blue. I don't know about you, but
$66 for the blue.
60.
I think the green was $60 back in the day,
okay.
But
still, I'm into it. I'm super stoked about it.
That's gonna be cool.
I think I wanted to talk about it in a previous Pencast because we were talking about blue pens. I knew it was coming, but I couldn't say anything about it.
Yeah, it wasn't public yet.
But now it's on the coming soon, so you can sign up for the email list there.
That's right.
Man, I'm gonna be getting one for sure.
Awesome. Speaking of blue, there is a new roller and cleaner ink, which is not something that comes out new every day.
Nope.
Called Blue-Eyed Mary.
Is that a flower? It's a picture of a flower.
It looks like a flower. Yeah, there's
Okay.
a flower in it. So I don't know anything about flowers, but maybe that's a thing. Blue-Eyed Mary, is that a flower? Can anybody validate that? Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
Mystery.
No?
It's
Okay. Nobody knows.
It's a fictional
okay,
flower.
Cool. Well, there you go. That's going to be $12.95 for that. So that's kind of cool. We got a new Sailor King of Pens Mach-E that's coming out. So there's a ton.
What's it?
Y'all have seen the Mach-E pens here in person. You're like, oh crap, I'm in trouble now.
A bargain at 4K.
That's right. Umatu Gaku. So this is like a horse and moon themed one. It looks pretty cool. The last one was like a wolf themed one.
But it still had gecko in it. Does gecko mean moon?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. We got a new Sailor Valio coming out. So this is like, Sailor.
Two of them.
Two of them, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I didn't scroll far enough. There's a blue Valio and then a pearl orange. So this is one that's like translucent. You can see through it. And it's got like swirls in it as well. It's pretty cool. So that's going to be in the Pro Gear model, I believe.
Yeah.
So we got 2 of those. Let's see here. What else we got?
Got some new, the Endless Alchemy ink bottles are coming back. You know, those ones that look like, you know, wizard flasks. So those went away. They're coming back. Slight bottle redesign, but then they're also adding 2 new colors that are like shimmer versions of it. So they're calling them like Stardust or something like that.
Stardust, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a
Magic Peach Fuzz and Candy Sea and Toffee. So Magic Peach Fuzz is like a peach colored, as you would might guess, and then Candy Sea and Toffee is like a dark blue, like a nighttime colored kind of a thing. So
I have 2 of the bottles on my desk. You gave them to me after it was just empty. I plan to put some little terrarium stuff in them because they're really cool looking bottles.
Yeah.
But I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
But I have terrarium soil.
Is that gonna be a problem with the bottle like rolling around?
No.
No, they'll just,
That the earth rolls around.
everything in there will be having a good. Fair.
We're rolling around right now, bro.
Well done, sir. Okay. Oh my gosh. There's also a new Opus 88 coming out, which is cool. It's a demonstrator pen called Blue Whale. So this is kind of a new thing Opus is doing.
Not whale.
It could be whale. No judgment on how you say it. But it's cool. It's basically the clear pen, but it's you know, got, I don't know if it's like painting or screen printing or whatever method is done on it. But it's got, you know, like an ocean kind of a theme with whales on it that you can sort of see sort of through the pen, but it's also blue, so it's like best of both worlds in my opinion. So that's kind of neat. Opus has been doing that on a couple other pens too, so it's excited to see that coming out. And then what else, Drew? What else?
We need to go through it all, but
okay,
yeah.
There's lots more new stuff coming
There
out.
is.
So
Check it out. It's cool.
as if you need more input of new things to have on your mind after just being barraged with pens.
They don't have any
entire
money at this
weekend.
point anyway. It's Sunday.
I know. There'll be another paycheck that comes out, you know. Anyway, so that's what we got going on. So, let's see here. Company updates. I don't know if we have any company updates, Drew.
No, at the time this video will publish, we will have a video published on the 5 Italian pens you must try. So this is not a video where I'm like saying like, oh, these are the top 5 Italian pens, the best Italian. These are ones that like, if we were sitting at a table next to each other, I'd be like, hey, try this. Get this in your hands for whatever reason. So I did Japan, I did Germany, so I'm doing Italy next.
Awesome.
And so that'll go up on Wednesday.
Yes.
Will
have gone up by
Will
Wednesday.
have gone up because right now it's Friday.
Yes. Friday, August, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We're recording this Sunday, August 4th, by the way.
Yep.
So we're always kind of screws with our mind when we're trying to say things that are coming, but it will have already have come by the time. Anyway, it's kind of messed up. But anyway, I say it's time we get into some Q&A, Drew. What do you think?
Do you want to jump into our debate or jump into one of the audience questions?
Oh, let's
debate,
do-
and then we'll let Brian add a poll
Okay.
to add to the debate.
Okay, fair enough. We got a bunch of
right.
questions that are coming in, so we'll definitely be able to do that. So the debate, Drew, you want to kick it off? From Cookie
Yeah.
Master here?
Someone wrote in with the username Cookie Master, not Cookie Monster. This person's taking
Master.
ownership of the cookies.
That's right.
So Cookie Master simply says, pen debate, Pilot Custom 823 versus the Lamy 2000. I know, right? That's why I added it. So, Brian, would you be so kind as to add a poll so that our friends here among us can add to their opinions to what is about to be an absolute destruction when I tell you that the 2000 is better?
Yeah.
Or the 823. I don't know. I'm just going to disagree.
Do you want to like pick sides in the debate?
I don't know. I'm
or
just
we
going to
legitimately-
disagree with you regardless.
Okay. Well,
I really have a tough time. All right, the poll is up, so y'all let us know. Really, we'll just trust you, and y'all will be the winner. I don't know, they're both internal reservoirs, which is not my top pick.
yeah,
The nib on the 823 is just one of the best in the industry.
it is fantastic.
So it's hard to pull that one back. But I would
It's
give
also brown.
It's brown.
The amber one.
The most popular brown pen in the industry. But durability points need to go to the 2000 for sure.
Yeah, that's
That's a fact. It's a fact.
Yeah.
So 2000 wins with durability.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wins in just overall aesthetic. I think. I mean, the 823 is just kind of the standard cigar shaped pen.
I don't know. I met a couple of people last night that absolutely hate the Lamy 2000.
Well, it's like art though. It's like even if you hate it, you have to acknowledge that more design intent went into making that pen than design intent went into making the 823. The 823, they're just like, all right, what's a pen look like? Boom, here it is. Let's make it bigger than the last one.
Lamy 2000 has won a lot of design awards
There
and
you
stuff
go.
like that. It's been unchanged. It's older. It's been around longer than the E23. It is pretty neck and neck on the poll
let's
so
say
far.
if you just were if you were just writing something, you're at your desk, you have a Lamy 2000 and an 823 there, and you need to write a letter to somebody. Which pen are you picking up?
That's a really hard question. It is deadlocked right now in the polls with 40 people voting. Is dead even.
What color ink is in each pen?
What color ink is in each pen? Well,
What
if
color
it's
is each
for
pen?
debate, we got to put the same ink in both. So
Yeah.
we'll-
And I would say for color-wise, we got to go with like the normal black Lamy 2000 and the amber 823, the OG.
yeah, those two
So
are
let's
that's what's in
compare
my head
those
competing.
two.
Yeah,
Signature. Oh, that just came out.
that
Come
thing's been selling
on.
really good though.
It is.
I don't
have
know
one.
why. It's like
I have one.
it's fine.
Yeah, it's good. It's really tough. If I got to be totally honest, the pen that I end up using more is the Lamy 2000.
Yeah.
I keep it in my pocket more.
Yeah.
I keep it in my backpack. I just don't have to worry about it as much because of the durability. That's a big thing for me. Also, it looks a little more understated. So if I'm like carrying it around, bring it to places, I'm not as worried about people like swiping it because it doesn't look as fancy
Yeah.
of a pen.
Yeah.
But
I'd probably lean a little
so
bit
cool,
towards
so
Lamy
cool.
2000 as well.
yeah, but I can honestly make a debate for either
Oh,
one.
easily.
If somebody said you have to pick one or the other, I would probably just leave and I wouldn't answer the question because it is such a toss up between both.
All right.
But
what do
anyway,
we have here is the
the Lamy 2000 is edging it out slightly now. So with 45 votes,
right.
I don't know.
you
But
go.
honestly, you can't go wrong either way. They're both iconic pens.
Yeah, 100%.
And, I'd make an argument for either. So the answer is it depends. So there you go. That's your answer. It depends on
the
what you
first
like.
question, Brian.
Yep.
God.
Oh yeah, we're just leaning full into
All
it.
right.
I own it at this point. We're 40 now. We don't have to try
Let's
to
see.
please anybody. We can just own it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh, good stuff. Okay.
All right, what's the top question right now?
All right, question I have right here. So Mike says, husband ran my vanishing point through a full washer, dryer, laundry cycle. Pen survived. Should husband? That's fantastic. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's great. That is great.
That is interesting. I feel like the fair thing is to put him through the cycle.
There you go. There you go. There you go. I would say
He'll be fine.
It depends on intent, right? So if it was an intentional throwing the pen in there, then yeah, you got some problems. But if it was unintentional, we all make mistakes. It's okay. Live and let live.
I
You're
know.
all
Give him a
good.
light load, low heat. He'll be fine.
It's like you're cleaning out the pen. It's an extra cleaning cycle.
Put it-
Yeah.
yeah.
There
That's
you go.
amazing.
All right, another one. Oh, Mike, another one floated to the top here. Okay. Oh no, wait, same one. Okay. Oh no, wait. Okay. Oh, Ramses. Okay, I watched my husband's vanishing point while I survived. How common is this? How many of you all have run a pen through the washing machine before? I definitely have. Just a few? Okay, not that many. Cool. That's all right. Okay, well, that's all right. It happens to some of us. All right. Natalie says, if Janaea was a fountain pen, which one would she be? Is this me and Drew choosing here? Or Janaea, which fountain pen do you think you would be? Benu Euphoria, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The
Yeah.
glitteriest, shiniest one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ironically, I would be a pilot E95S because they're compact and cute and classy.
There you go. Okay. So either a Benu Euphoria
No, she's a Benu
or
Euphoria.
a Pilot E95S. I do like the compact. And
She's
yeah, and
no.
cute.
The
Yeah.
E95S is understated in a way that she is not. I'm sorry. No, like, no. She's got too much personality for
Drew
the E95S.
disagrees.
I love the E95S. It's one of my favorite, maybe my favorite pilot pen. But Janaea is a Euphoria, 100%.
Good stuff. There you go. That works. All right. Tina says, tell us about the pens that you got at the show. Did you get any pens at the show, Drew?
I was gifted a pen that I am unfamiliar with, but it is a full-size Pilot Elite. So it is set up like, a short long pilot style or a platinum or sailor, the short long, but it is not short. It is, kind of full size, but it's got an inlaid nib, but it's got one of those funky little scoop outs below the breather hole. So there's the breather hole, and then below that, at the base of the inlaid nib, there's another crescent, I guess for additional flow. But it's an amazing pen, and I tried really hard to get him to not give it to me, but it got to the point where I'm like,
I bet you did.
he really wants. No, I did. I did.
You're like, oh no, you
No,
totally shouldn't give that to me.
I did. I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah, I want to see this thing. Drew stole it. Yeah, he stole it off somebody's table. He's like, hey, look at that. Just took it. Very cool. I didn't steal any pens, nor was I gifted one like Drew. I didn't say you did. I just said
I did.
I just said I didn't. I was joking. I got a couple pens, but let's show yours first.
Yeah, look at this thing. It says Elite right there in the center band. It's
Hang on,
a
let me
larger
do
pen.
Let me do the phone thing.
Oh, you're doing the
Drew.
phone thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
okay,
show it, 'cause
okay.
we got to show the folks at home.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know what year this is from, but it's not new. So
You can look at the nib and see what year it is.
yeah,
from.
yeah. Let's
Can
see.
you see it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about pilots. For those of you who've watched it recently,
Actually,
what is it?
I need some sort of loop. I don't know. Anyway, but look, it's got an inlaid nib.
Oh, we got a loop right here. Boom!
Oh!
Look at this. Look at this.
Nice. Looks like he might have got this from the Goulet Pen Company.
Hmm.
No, it just says script. Why are you looking at me? Oh my god.
I mean,
We've got a camera, Brian.
I don't know. I was showing you with the loop.
There we
I don't
go.
know. We can cut it
Yeah.
out.
So it's got that funky little extra bonus.
Look at that thing,
scoop.
yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
Bonus scoop.
But it's 18K, so
Interesting.
but it's like a old school
yeah.
sort of feed with a little hole. It looks kind of like a old
Interesting.
Parker or something like that. So it's really cool. I'm super excited about it.
It's fun.
And I believe it already has a cartridge in it, which
Ooh,
makes me
look how
happy 'cause-
yellow that is.
Hey, it's fine. Gets the job done. Still better than a Con 70.
Savage. You know, pilots here, Drew.
What?
Drew may not make it home. Okay. Is that what you got? Is that pick up anything else?
Yeah. I was
boy.
also gifted another pen.
Tool pen, right?
We don't say that word in here. We're not going to discuss this live anyway. An extraordinarily generous pen friend who I've known for 10 plus years gifted me a brown Pilot Custom 74 that is a Japanese exclusive. They made it for their shareholders this year, but they also are retailing it at selective brick and mortar stores in Japan. And somehow he got a hold of one and thought that I deserved it. And I just am so shockingly
Very
humbled
sweet.
by it now. I actually don't own a Custom 74, so this is my first Custom 74.
That's right. You don't. That's right.
I will say I fought harder against this one than I did that one because I saw it. I saw it on Instagram on Fude Fans Instagram page, and it struck me like just. Oh
Yeah. It's kind of like the Amber 823. It's like that, translucent kind of a brown. So that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad.
And it's brown.
I'm not jealous at all. So no, really, it's fine. So I got 2 pens. I got 2 vintage pilots. At this point, good Lord, I don't need any more pens, but I'm here at the show. There's all kinds of cool like vintage stuff that I don't see very often. And I like interesting technology and engineering, especially like vintage technology. I'm like, where has this been all this time? So I love things like the Pilot M90, stuff like that. I got like Schaefer Snorkel, like just cool, weird stuff. So I picked up a couple thanks to BK, who pointed out to me. He got one, and then I saw it, and I was like, well, I gotta get one too. Where'd you get that thing?
He showed me his the other day. It was so cool.
So it's called the Pilot. Oh yeah, here.
No, I'm just
do the phone thing.
phone thing.
Let's show it. Yeah.
You got yours?
Yeah.
All right. Apples.
Look how quickly that fires up. Okay. So this is the Pilot Short. What's cool? Can you see? Okay.
I mean,
I just need to hold still.
I'll figure it out.
I'll hold it up for you all in a second. So it's a shorter pen, sort of like an E95S size, a little bit slimmer. But when you pull it out, the grip section slides out a bit. It's like a telescoping grip, and then you uncap it, and it's got like kind of like a vanishing point size nib in it, but it's like fixed in there. So cartridge pen converter. It doesn't have a cartridge or converter in it, but I'm assuming that it will work. So yeah, and it's a nice little short pen. You can post it, So it ends up being about an E95S size, but you can just make it shorter if you want to, So I thought that was kind of cool, and it's blue, so that's also cool. Blue, it's like a teal, but a bluish teal. So that's pretty rad. BK's got one to match, so we're now like short buddies. So that's kind of neat. Here, I'll hold it up for y'all just so you can see. So just like this, but it like boop. Like telescopes in, so it's like boop, boop.
I hope you make a noise every time you use it.
Yep. I will.
If I'm like walking by your office and I hear boop or boop, I'm like, boop, 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 boop. I know what pen he's using.
Yep. And then do another one.
Yeah.
And then at the same table that I saw this one, I saw an like OG Namiki capless, which is like this cool green. I want to like hold it up, but also it's gonna make it hard. Okay, sorry. Let's hold it down here, and then I'll show everybody. It looks super vintage. It still has the sticker on it, Drew, which I know you love.
Get that off.
But I mean, it's the capless, so it's like the origin of the vanishing point here. The trapdoor is fully exposed. It is sharp edges on the plastic. So by today's standards, you'd be like, yeah, this doesn't quite look finished. It looks like a prototype. But it really was like the prototype to the vanishing point, which has now been around for 40, 50 years, something like that. And so I am really just loving that. I'm probably not going to ink it up and write with it because I want to keep it pristine. And it's pretty rad. So yeah, really glad I picked that up too.
I just now hit record.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's fine. I'm seeing it now. We're seeing it now. It's
Okay,
good.
there you go.
It's good. Yeah.
I'll repeat everything I just said, Drew.
We're all good.
So it's still got the sticker on it. You can see it was 2,000 yen back in the day.
Is it just a
It would
push
be a lot
pull or is
more.
it a clicky button?
It's a clicky.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a clicky. The clicky's a little delicate, It's not as like affirmatively engineered as today's vanishing points are. But it's got a little nib that pokes out there, and then you just kind of click it again and it comes back in. But it's like more fully exposed there. So it's like, oh, you can definitely see the trap door.
That's cool.
Isn't that rad?
It is.
I haven't actually tried to open up. I'm not going to open it up right now because I don't want to break it live on camera. But you can see here it is, like very, very vintagey kind of looking. It feels like aluminum. I don't know, but it's got kind of a yellowish tinge to it. So I'm like, is that silver? It needs to be polished. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, it's kind of a cool green color. And then, you just push it like that and you can see the trap door and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty rad. But anyway, I'll have it out if you want to come and see it after the show. So those are my two pickups that I had at the show. So vintage stuff, that's honestly, when I come to DC, that's usually what I end up getting is vintage pens. It's a deep rabbit hole. I keep 1 foot firmly above the hole and I dip 1 foot down in the hole and then I bring it back up. So that's what I do at these shows. But anyway, that's what we got. So thank you for that question. Let's keep it going. Okay, so Amelia says, what is the most interesting or unique fountain pen accessory that you've seen at the DC Pen Show so far? Accessory. Oh, that's a good question.
I think that it just has to be like, as far as unique goes, like there's all sorts of crazy 3D printed pen holders, like from like
That's definitely been a thing.
like there's no limit to that. Like you got dragon heads and any sort of other thing you can just stick your pen in, and yeah, those are wild. And then that pokes out at me, like everything at Evan's table, the Penquisition tables, like every year is something crazier than the last.
Yeah.
What's up?
I saw a guy who kind of unique was selling kind of reconverted old cigar boxes as pen
Converted cigar boxes.
Oh yeah, those
Yeah.
are cool. Yeah, lots of pen
cool.
pen boxes, cases, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a woodworker, so I love all the wood, like the finely woodcrafted stuff. So like pen holders, things like that I've showed on the Pencast recently. Other people had things like that too, and I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. I like that. Very cool stuff.
I didn't get as much time to like really spend looking at tables.
I know.
As sometimes I get, like, DC is not a show where I get to spend a lot of time at the tables just because there's so many people I want to talk to. Yeah. Baltimore is a lot better for me to actually like chill and peruse. But I don't like, and yeah, I come here for the people mostly.
Yeah.
And but then again, there have been some surprises for sure.
Yep. Question from Tyler says, what made you decide to start doing mental health days and how much does it cost you? That's a good question.
People started losing their minds. It was not pretty.
Yeah. I mean, so they're mental health half days. We started doing it during COVID. So as we were kind of coming back from the like fully remote, obviously we ship products, so we had to be in the office to some degree. But, for a couple of years there, it was like, is it safe? Do we mask? Do we distance? Do da da da? We've pretty much settled into it now, but really ever since COVID, we've had so many different people that have had stuff going on in their lives. We've had, people that have needed to be in the office more, other people that needed to be home more, doing stuff with family or balancing out stuff, for their own needs. And, so that means we have to cover for each other a lot more. So for us to like actually take like full time off is like basically like weekends and holidays, because, we're a very like intertwined kind of integrated team. So it's like, even if, one team takes time off or one person takes time off, stuff is still happening in the background. So it's like, if orders are coming in, our bookkeeper's got to like still do all the bookkeeping stuff, because it's all got to be input that day. Otherwise it causes a lot more work. So it was really as like an effort to coordinate all of us to be like, okay, if we all stop working on these half days, we can actually take that time off together. And so we tried that out during, I think it was like 2021 maybe, or like late 2020. That we started doing that. It was like, let's try it a few times, particularly when we didn't have like a lot of holidays going on. So like during like Thanksgiving, Christmas, that kind of stuff, people get some time off. But, once it kind of rolls into like spring and early summer, it's like, well, there's not as many kind of days off built in for all of us. So we're like, let's try the half day thing. And we all liked it a lot, me and Rachel included. So we basically just kind of kept on doing it. So, as far as cost goes, it's a half day for the whole company. Probably it's not necessarily every single month, but it's at least 10 times a year, 10, 12 times a year. So, consider 5, maybe 6 days of work for the whole company. So it's not an insignificant cost, but at the same time, we've heard so many good things from our team and we've benefited from it ourselves, that it's like getting that little bit of extra time, especially knowing that like we're all doing it together. We're intentionally, it's like if we're taking time off, it's easy to like, okay, I'm going to go and do extra work at home or do something like that. But it's really like, okay, we're all going to take that time and we're going to talk about like, what did we do for our mental health for that day? So like we're actually all more taking that time for mental health specifically, rather than just random time off. So I've seen a big benefit for their whole team. Financially, it's hard to say. I know what it costs in terms of, what we're paying everybody, but in terms of the benefits of it, I feel like it's worth it. I don't run the numbers too hard on it. So we try to run the business so that it's like a balance of, fiscal responsibility and also taking care of our people. So to me, if that feels in balance, we'll do it, at this, and we're grateful for, you all, our customers, to give us that time, and be okay with that. Some people have issue with it, but I'm like, whatever. It sounds like you need a mental health that day. But, it's really important. The mental health thing has been so crucial for us since COVID, especially me and Rachel included. We've had a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, we just take that time, and we're in this for the long haul. So we're not going to just run the gauntlet for ever and ever. We've been doing it 15 years already. And so I'm like, if we need to change the pace, slow it down just a little bit to keep our health going and keep it going longer, I view that as an investment, not just an expense, right?
Some people chill out and play video games in the dark, and some people go out in the woods and chop down trees.
Yes, that's right. Mental health looks different for everybody.
That it does.
That's right. That's right. Log graves, you betcha. Multiple. Turkey hammocks, absolutely.
He needs to build a turkey hammock for the turkeys in his yard.
I do have both turkeys and hammocks, so it's right there. The opportunity is right there.
Do they know that though? Like, if you put a sign in there, be like, free hammock.
They're turkeys. They're gonna do their thing. They're not too worried about what we got going on.
Turkey's gonna do their thing.
All right. Michelle asks, would you rather use a good pen with bad ink or a bad pen with good ink? Ooh.
I gotta think about what bad ink looks like.
It's an ugly color and really dry.
Yeah, really dry.
Oh, bad all around, like unappealing visually and doesn't perform well. Oh gosh, that's a terrible question.
That is difficult.
Are we allowed to alter either of the things, or do we have to use it as is? No cheating, so just as is. Oh my gosh. I'm going to say good pen with bad ink, just because at least the pen, I'm like holding it in my hand and visually being pleased by it. That's what I'm going to go with. Drew, what do you say? Drew's got a face on him like it was when I was like 10 years old looking for candy in the pantry, and I found some bouillon cubes. And I ate one thinking it was candy, and I had that look on my face.
It's so salty.
It was very salty. I was like, what is happening? I made a huge mistake. Drew, what do you think? Good pen, bad ink? Bad pen, good ink. You're an ink guy, so I feel like if you had really bad ink, that would be tough.
I think that I'm gonna go with a bad pen. Like,
bad pen, good ink?
I feel like I've written with a lot of bad pens, like a lot of bad pens, and I have become very tolerant with a lot of irritating idiosyncrasies that pens may possess, and I think that I can adjust my expectations enough to tolerate a bad pen, whereas like there's no shifting around you can do with your grip or anything under your control to deal with a bad ink. That's just going to be bad and ugly and sad and upsetting and just like the ink, there's no control. Like with a bad pen, you can be like, all right, maybe I can change my paper, maybe I can adjust my grip, adjust my pressure, something. But with ink, like it's no, you're going to deal with me no matter what. So yeah, I'm taking the bad pen.
All right, cool. Drew and I don't agree on that one, but it's a preferential thing, right?
Oh man.
Yeah. All right, I got a question here from other Drew. Yeah. You've done lots of collaborations, i.e. beverages. I'm thinking Banu. What is a theme that you want to use in a collaboration but haven't, and who would it be with? Interesting. I've done a lot of collaborations.
I'm going to go with Captain Planet theme, Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, Heart, you know.
That's a good one.
And then they can all come together to like Voltron themselves into some like Uber pen. You know? Let's go with that.
Interesting.
Captain, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So no, not really. That's
I don't know
insane.
if I can top that one. That's pretty good.
It just came to me, you know. I don't know. Captain Planet, he's a hero. But no, I love thinking about themes. That's like one of my favorite things to do. Whenever I'm like kind of permitted to kind of go and think about that sort of thing, I'm like, oh boy, what can I do? I even have a document at work that's just like a page of like potential themes. A lot of them are pretty basic, you know, like famous rivers, you know, famous, landmark cities, you know, some things like oldest cities, you know, a whole list of those, just potentials. Because a lot of the times we're trying to think of a name for a pen and we just sit there and like, I don't know. And then literally everything is a car, if you haven't noticed. Like, they're all cars, you know. Edison Ascent, that's a car, you know. Everything's a car. So it's tough sometimes. And if you just come up with, you know, some little nuggets of themes, then at least you don't have to worry so much about it. But yeah, a lot of it, you know, sometimes the design comes first, and then the name, and then sometimes, you know, the name comes first. But I have some ideas like already that I know we are going to be moving forward on, so I can't mention those. But I think that I'm done with planets. We've done a lot of space stuff. I'm like,
there's a lot of space stuff.
We can give space a break. There's enough space for everybody. But
there's so much out there though.
Yeah.
So much potential.
You're not wrong. But oh man, that's a tough one. Do you have an idea of a theme that you'd like to move forward?
I mean,
with?
you're much more theme minded.
Well, all my themes, I'm planning to use. I'm in my head. I'm like, oh, they're gonna happen, but I don't want to mention it.
Yeah.
Just in case. I don't want to jinx it.
I mean, I have my CEO hat on, so I'm like, oh, I'd love to use this theme. Oh, that's a trademarked thing. No, I don't want to get sued. So there's definitely like things like that, like the Captain Planet one. We would have to call it like, you know, major space rock or something like that. You know, because like I want to be very cautious of that kind of thing. So most of the things that I would love to do are like all the trademarked things that, you know, we wouldn't actually be able to use. But I also,
you know what I can say. This isn't exactly a theme per se. But since I know someone particular is in the audience right now, I will say I'm going to try my hardest to make hot dog sandwich happen on a Retro 51, because I just want a Retro 51 that looks like a hot dog, and I'm not going to stop until I get it.
That's a big debate around our office is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
and it is. So
Hot dog sandwich.
if you have different feelings, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, not Jade Twyler asks, are there any pens you didn't think you'd enjoy, but when you did try, you said, that's not bad, or even enjoyed using it?
Yesterday,
Yeah?
not Jade Twyler actually handed me a rainbow tool pen.
Oh.
And it wrote amazingly well.
Yeah?
But here's the thing. I commented on this, and he says, well, Gina Salarino got her hands on it.
Ah,
So,
okay.
their hands.
Professionally tuned.
Their hands.
Yeah.
But it wrote amazingly well. I was really surprised by it, but I think that the tuning probably cost similar to the pen's cost. But
That's right. It's not what it costs,
either way,
it's what it gets you,
more than
you
the
know?
cost.
Yeah, there you go.
It wrote amazingly well, though. I was not expecting it.
Yeah. For me, gosh, I'm trying to think. Anything that I had. I mean, pretty much like I'm not excited about very thin pens. I've talked about this a bunch. So I always anticipate that I'm not going to like them. But I've been pleasantly surprised. I'm not having a specific pen that comes to mind. But
Adrian at work went to Spain or something and brought back a couple of these little Bic fountain pens.
oh yeah.
And they were little tiny pink and white fountain pens, and the tipping material, there is no tipping material. It is crimped at the very tip, just kind of pinched together to make a rounded edge. So it's 2 tines and then crimped to create a rounded writing surface. Writes amazingly well. I love it.
Yeah.
And I was just floored. I believe it's a Wick pen, kind of like the
Varsity?
petite one or the Varsity. Yeah. But that's amazing. Brian, you have one of those, right? Yeah, we don't know how to clean it, but it's still. I was not expecting it to write as well as it was, and I had never seen one of those like crimped tipping materials either.
Yeah.
Blew my mind. I'm like, is this thing tipped? And like, yes and no. There's a shape, but it's not anything that's added or welded to the tip. They just kind of squeeze it into position. Yeah, it was wild,
cool.
but it works. I'm actually surprised that there's no U.S. available nib that does that. Something like super cheap. So yeah, generally I'm more surprised by like the really, really value, budget pens that I've tried and ended up, being really good. The Varsity was one actually. When I first wrote with the Varsity, I was not expecting it to write as well as it did. And honestly, it surprises me constantly.
Yeah.
Because it never gets worse.
Yeah.
It'll always solid.
I'm with you. As a solid pen.
Yeah.
Brad says, of all the videos you've made, are there any that you would want to revisit or redo? We have revisited and redone a bunch of pens or a bunch of videos, especially the ones that have typically performed well in the past. We're like, let's do it again and see if people like it still, like updated stuff.
There definitely is. We've definitely gone back and looked at some of the videos that have done really well, and we're like, oh man, maybe we should do an updated one of that, because that seemed to be something people liked. But then there are some that like we just know we could do better. Or maybe some that were like too long, because this was like 2013 or something like that, and we could go back and shorten. I'd love to have some feedback on that. Actually, I'm sure that there's some feedback we could get there to kind of point ourselves in the right direction. But like the Pilot Metropolitan video is pretty old. We haven't done like a review on the Metro in a while, but
True.
It's doing really well and people are still watching it, so it's like doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
And then I think that we might want to do a redo on the Traveler's Notebook.
I was thinking of that one
at some
That's
point.
super old. Yeah.
I mean, it still works, but I think the production wise, we could give it a little oomph there.
Yeah, definitely. Most of the videos in the first like 7 years, I'm like, this really could look a lot better.
I think you might need to do another wax seal video, Brian.
Oh yeah, that's
go back
top of my list. Yeah.
Could you do it on the kitchen table, just for old time's sake?
Just for kicks, I should go old school. And
you don't still have that table,
the
do
way I
you?
used to. Yeah, I still got that table.
Oh,
Yeah, it's my current dining table.
There we go.
Yeah, hasn't changed. For me, like probably the Herbal Glass Pen video. That was like early days. It's one where I'm drinking ocean spray like it's a fine wine. That might have been a little bit of sleep delirium at that time. Newborn baby, working crazy hours. I was like, yeah, let's just go with this. That the pens have changed too a bunch. So anything that's older, but I'm like, the content's still good, but the price has changed or the availability, the options have changed a little bit. We have taken down some videos that it's just like, too much has changed. It's not even the
totally
same,
irrelevant.
It's not even the same product anymore. Most of them are like paper products and things that are just like not as relevant today. That's most of the stuff is the stuff that's like super old, and some of it, the information's changed, but not totally, to refresh that. I will say my French ruled paper, the Clairefontaine Sayez French ruled paper, it's still like one of the only videos out there on that paper. I feel the least confident about actually knowing what I was talking about in that video. But I was like, nobody's going to care. And it's still up there and people reference it every now and then. I even had somebody one time at our local Chick-fil-A that said that his French teacher pulled that up in his class and used that as education. I was like, oh my gosh, I have no idea if what I said was accurate or not. I didn't just like make stuff up, but there was just not a lot of information to go on with that one. But,
I've never used that paper.
No one really does, so it hasn't really warranted me redoing it.
I forget it exists. There's a couple products that we regularly forget exist.
Yes,
stuff
indeed.
that like, wow, we still sell that, and then stuff that like we didn't know, went away because it didn't sell, and we're like, oh, but like the desk blotter, like it's still around.
It's never gone away.
The Jacques Herbin Rolly desk blotter thing with those little pink and white pieces of paper.
Yep.
Still there. Still has not,
thing.
Dropped in sales enough for us to consider not carrying. But it's just like, when have we ever? We don't even talk about that ever.
Exacompta, the index cards.
The index cards. Yep.
That we've had those from the very beginning.
Yeah. Maybe you need to do a standalone video on the desk blotter. Like, sit down. We're gonna enter the world of the desk blotter today, folks.
It'll be a very short video. There's not a lot to it.
We all promise we'll watch.
There we go.
Okay.
At least one view right there.
Right. It's like if you
100% satisfaction.
It's like if you touch one person's life, it's all worth it, right? But okay. Jeffrey asks, why wasn't the opening today in black and white? Good question. You found our secret. We do cheat post-production on that one.
Dang it.
Everybody watching this video will be like, what are you talking about? It was black and white.
Yeah.
IRL, we are in full living color.
That's funny.
All right. Rob says, is it bad that I'm shopping for pens on your site while here at the live Pencast? No, that's not bad at all. You can help fund these pens that I bought. No, that's awesome. That's really cool.
I mean, I still need to buy that coffee Schaefer, as a matter of fact. So
get right on that, Drew.
Yeah, dude.
Yep. All right. Katie says, what would a Drew Brown style fountain pen shirt look like?
Intriguing
question.
I actually think I want another one of those. Put that away. The tool pen came out. No. I kind of. All right, here we go. The shirt I was wearing yesterday, it was that Marty McFly Back to the Future shirt, kind of Western looking. Mm-hmm. So that kind of like separated shoulder color, but instead of the atomic symbol there, I would want some sort of like a skull and there's a black and gray or black and purple with a skull and crossbones, except the bones are fountain pens, just right here and right there, and pearl snap buttons, black with the purple shoulders. Yeah, make me one of those, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get right on that.
I like that a lot. I like a fountain pen Jolly Roger. That's what I want. Not like an all over thing. I want it to be like, I want a symbol, some sort of. In fact, that would be a pretty awesome sticker.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
I'll get right on.
Yeah. That's pretty rad.
There you go.
You realize you just issued a challenge for next year.
Leah says, thanks for everything you've done online, providing the standard for pen care videos. Thank you. You've helped so many newbies. What is your favorite Tootsie Pop flavor?
Purple.
Purple. It's not a flavor.
Purple, blue, whatever that thing
It's
is.
not a flavor.
Well, what flavor is it? It's like grape-ish?
Grape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the basic ones, yes, the blue, purple, the blurple one, whatever that is. But we have like the extra bonus flavors too.
We do.
And
Like tropical. Or
yeah,
whatever.
and I don't have all of those memorized, but there's a tangerine that's pretty rad, and then there's one that's like the wrapper is pink with like a little bit of green in it, and I really dig that one, but I don't remember what flavor it is.
I don't know which one that is.
Yeah, I go through phases where I like, I will appropriate a good amount of Tootsie Pops. Like,
Yeah.
I might grab one on my way home or something like that, but then I don't have them for like months.
Yeah.
But then I have one. I'm like, oh my god, yes.
These are awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, I'm in a downward phase. But,
Yep.
but I will come back to the Tootsie Pops inevitably.
Yeah. Mine, I really like the new flavors. Like there's like 18 flavors, I think, in
There's a
the
lot,
in the
yeah.
new ones. Mango, really like that one, and pomegranate. Those are my favorite.
Generally speaking,
And my kids like them too. So if ever I bring any home, they like pick all those out first. They leave me with a bunch of like lemon or something. I'm like, come on.
my wife does that. Like, she'll be like, oh, you can have the rest of those gummy bears in the pantry. I'm like, oh, cool. All lemon. And she's not trolling me either. She's like thinking she's doing me a favor. I'm like, ma'am,
Yeah.
no.
You realize, yeah.
Largely speaking, I feel very proud about the way our company treats its customers, but there's one thing that I feel very dirty about. And
Oh boy.
it's the fact that we send out chocolate Tootsie Pops to people.
Some people, that's their favorite flavor,
It
Drew.
eats at my conscience, Brian. It's
Why are you
those
hating on the chocolate Tootsie Pop?
chocolate Tootsie Pops are the worst. Don't
No.
even. No.
Get out of here.
No. You don't really like them.
Boo.
You're just saying that. I don't believe.
Drew just lost credit. We got somebody leaving the room.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Getting canceled.
Wow. Who knew that would be the hot button issue of the day? Wow. Rob asked, can you use watercolor liquid paint in fountain pens?
Only vintage.
I wouldn't think so.
No. Please don't.
Wow, Drew, you're on a roll.
Please
Let me tell
don't.
you. Wow. I don't know that much about watercolor liquid paint. The fact that it says paint tells me no.
I'm seeing a lot of people shaking their heads very confidently. So
Like
I'm just
watercolor
gonna...
paint, isn't that acrylic based? Wouldn't that be awful to use in a fountain pen? Yeah.
It's a concentrated liquid. It's not a cake. It's liquid, and it looks just like the fountain pen.
It's concentrated. It's concentrated what?
Concentrated liquid.
Concentrated liquid. So
Water with pigment in it.
so maybe it's okay.
So it looks a lot like the water, the ink that goes in the fountain pen.
Okay, that's interesting. So what? So maybe like how when fountain pen ink completely dissolves, you're left with just the pigment or just
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never experienced that in any of my pens.
So maybe like we've talked about, like if you have an ink that has had some evaporation occur, you can add water to kind of reconstitute it. Is that what you're doing with watercolors? Are you just kind of like reconstituting dye?
It's a pigment.
Okay, so it's like it would be slightly more dense than dye, but maybe. Rob, I think you need to try it and report back, buddy.
Yeah. To me, I would say that seems risky. Why bother? Because there's like a zillion fountain pen inks out there. You could do a cheap pen. You could
I'm
do
curious.
a Kakamori, a glass pen. There's a lot of dip pen options you could do that would minimize any type of risk.
There's got to be somebody that's tried that. Like we have there's a lot of watercolor crossover in the fountain pen world. I'm sure somebody's given that a shot.
I don't know.
And there's actually some watercolor like classes here too. We might need to what do you call it when you look at a class but don't really participate? Audit. We need to audit that thing. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, we got some homework. All right. Natalie says, Drew, what are the last video games that you played and or beat?
Right now, the most recent one I finished was what did I play last? I'm working on another playthrough of Witcher 3 right now, which is one of my favorites. I played the game all the way through. I read all the books, and then I played it through again, and I'm making much different decisions now because In the game, you're a main character and you're a little bit of a father figure to, a younger girl. And in the first playthrough, I'm like, trying to be a little bit more dad-ish. I'm like, okay, clearly this guy is looking out for this girl. And so I'm like, hey, hang on. Maybe let's not be too hasty. Let's. But now after reading the books, I'm like, oh no, girl, you get to do whatever you want. Because she went through some stuff. So now I'm like, nope, well, what does she think? I don't know. Hold on, let's ask her. Like, yes, we can do that right now. Let's go. Totally changed the way I play. And it got a different ending as a result. So, yeah, so no, I did finish Witcher. Done with Witcher. That is what I last finished. But I'm still in, like, the extra DLC stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Next up is Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Awesome.
And then I get to go see the orchestra playing songs from Final Fantasy Rebirth in October.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My last video game was Mario Party with my kids. On the Switch.
I have never played a Mario Party game.
What?
Nah.
Which Mario Party?
That's a great question. I don't remember. It was on the Switch.
Is it Superstars?
I think so.
The one that collaborates all the other ones?
No, not that one.
He
We
doesn't
have
know
a
what Mario
bunch
Party
of
game he
them.
played.
I don't put the card in and fire up the game. It's all set up for me, and the controllers are all hooked up, and they're like, "Hey, Dad, come sit down. You're playing this game now." And I'm like,
Speaking of sitting
"Okay."
down, you need to come over to me a little bit. You're like,
No, I don't really want to be
Come
close to you
on,
after the
come
Tootsie Pop
on.
thing.
There
Yeah.
we go.
All right. Hannah says for Drew, what's the best pen that you've ever written with? For Brian, same question, but you can't say the Lamy 2000.
It's I don't know if I've
Wow.
got some recency bias here, but yesterday I went over to the Cusado booth that CY operates, and he handed me a stack nib that he did. I'm like, okay, wow, that's amazing. Another stack nib. Okay, wow, that's amazing. And after I wrote with the pens that he wanted me to write with, I started just going through all of his other crap, and I found a needlepoint nib.
I remember
And
that too. It's pretty awesome.
I'm a fan of like extra fines and needle points. This was the smoothest needlepoint I had ever written with, and the flow was just perfect. Like that's the thing. It's like a lot of companies are able to get an extra fine or a needlepoint, but sometimes because it needs to produce such a fine line, the flow is also a little starved. And I get it. I've ground a needlepoint before. It's insanely hard, which is another reason why I like them so much, because I know enough about them to know that a ton of skill goes into it. But that nib yesterday, like, man, it just floored me. It blew me away. And that pops in there immediately as just, I can't remember the last time I was just kind of like, by a writing experience.
Yeah.
So this has to be my answer for that one right now.
Okay. Mine's really tough because I'm sure I have a lot that are like kind of on par, and I can't remember everything to pick out my favorite, but the one I've written with most recently that like tops it for me is a Pilot Custom Urushi, because that like number 30 Pilot nib, it's bouncy, it's springy, it's smooth. I just love it. And it's a huge pen that actually fits my hand. So just like the whole package together, it just like sticks out to me. Ever since I inked it up, I have not stopped carrying it around with me.
Did you get any stickers from the Pilot booth?
No,
You need one. I have one that you can have if you don't get another one, but I'd like for you to get no one so I don't have to give it to you.
Okay.
But they have one that says "Go 30 or go home," and it's got a
I like that.
big old Pilot nib on there. Yeah, I was like,
gotta
this
stop by there.
this is a Brian sticker.
That's a me sticker
Yeah.
for sure. Yes. All right. The other Brown says, if Drew is gifted an inked up pen, does that violate the 3-pen rule? I would think that it does.
I've thought
I
about
think it
that.
does.
I've thought about that.
You violated it before, though. It's not a hard, fast rule. It's just a,
It's not.
it's
Well,
a
the same-
guideline.
It's the same thing as like, if I'm using a bunch of pens for a video, like, does that count? Like, no, they're not mine. But
True.
I guess it would. But then I take it home and I change it anyway. Nothing that has been gifted to me this year at the pen show has been inked up though. So.
Oh, so you haven't violated your rule?
No. And I've currently, it's the same pens as last episode. I've got my 912 inked up with Yamabudo, my Stargazer inked up with Bondi Blue, and then a Lilliput with Alt Goldgrun in it from Rohrer and Klingner.
Nice.
And not to call out anybody, but there was somebody in the comments I'm going to call out from last time that said that I mispronounced Bondi Blue and said, no, it's Bondi. It's a beach in Australia. And I'm like, I know, I thought it was Bondi. And it is Bondi. It's Bondi Blue.
Okay. You feel
Not
strongly
salty
about
about that.
Clearly.
I always assume I'm wrong, so I'm just like, I'm sorry, thank you for telling me. Because I'm just like pronunciations are terrible and hard.
All right, Lori's got a good question here. I want to get a new ink color, but not blue or black. Awesome. What color best captures the end of summer, beginning of fall? Yeah.
What if I am wrong still? What if who told me that yesterday was wrong and I just like asserted myself foolishly? Oh no. Is anybody from Australia? No, okay. It's Bondi?
He's thinking Bondi.
I know.
That's all right. Awesome.
Sorry, what were we talking about?
Did you even hear the question I asked? You were still like, I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, you're still in the last question. Okay. All right, what color, not blue or black, best represents the end of summer, beginning of fall?
Oh, isn't that a delightful time of year? The death of summer is just beautiful.
I do enjoy that. Except that's when the yellow jackets are the most aggressive. Which, by the way, I do need to update actually, because as soon as we stopped recording last week's Pencast, Drew was like, "You didn't update anybody about your hornet nest," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't."
I'm emotionally invested. You haven't even told me.
Well, I'm here. I'm not dead, so you know that nothing catastrophic happened.
Yeah.
No, they came and they took the nest, and now they're gone. It's not a fairly undramatic thing, but they like cut part of the nest. They left some of it because they said, if part of a nest is still there, then other ones won't come back to rebuild because they're very territorial. So they laid to rest all the ones that were there, took most of the nest away, and now I have this giant nest graveyard hanging up in my trees that remind me of what could have been for them, but now they're gone. So it's all taken care of. That was one where I did not feel the need to tackle that one myself. I was like, I'm going to call the pros.
Thank you for not literally tackling it either.
That would be very bad. Very bad. You got a question?
This summer I go with Birmingham Pen Combine Harvester Ink.
Birmingham
Combine
Combine
Harvester.
Harvester Ink. I was thinking of green. So Heliogen green from Diatramentis is a unique green because it's green with a copper shimmer. So you kind of get that brown and green at the same time, which if we're talking about like a transition from things being green to things being not green, I do like, and it's an interesting color because it there's not a lot of greens with like that kind of brownish copper thing. I would love a green with brown sheen. That would be amazing. And
if I'm saying that right, Jungle Volcano
from Krishna. Okay.
Yeah, nice orange that has.
Well, here's the thing about orange though. It's like I don't know if the leaves are turning yet. Green and brown I like. So that's where my mind goes, green and brown, because like if you're talking about end of summer, I don't know if the leaves are turning yet. I'm thinking just kind of like they're starting. It does depend on where you live.
Yeah. I mean, end of summer, that's like still middle of September is end of summer.
Yeah, maybe it should just be like the most joyous, lovely, happy color in the world because you're reminded that the worst season ever is coming to an end.
Oh man, that's rough.
It just makes me happy.
I don't know. I might go with like a darker purple. Because I'm thinking like nighttime kind of a thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm going to take it a different route. Because I think greens, I think spring.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not necessarily going green with it.
That.
So I don't know, like an amethyst de Laurel, maybe like a little bit of sparkle in it. That one's kind of cool. But like, I'm talking like a deeper kind of a purple, you know, Roaring Cleaner Scabiosa, something like that, dusty purples.
Yeah, I like that. I like that approach, the purple approach.
But you can mix it up.
So Brian, you're talking about sounds like the Lamy reissued lilac.
Lilac, yeah. That's a little. It could be. It could be
the new Lamy lilac.
Yeah,
is what he mentioned.
Yeah, there you go.
Solid. I like purple.
That would work too.
Nighttime purple.
Yeah. All right. Tina says, what new pens have flown off the shelves in the last year?
The first one that comes to my mind is the Monteverde Green Carbon Innova.
Yeah.
That thing flew.
Went, yeah.
Like I recorded a What's New video and it was in stock, and then in the time I'm like editing and posting it, it was gone, like all the way gone.
Yeah.
We did get more, but like that thing has just been so fast.
It did. Yeah.
And likewise, I feel like there was another one that did really well, like a
Earl Grey tea.
Well, Earl Grey did great.
the
We
Banu,
knew
a
Earl
lot of
Grey was going
Banus.
to be great, though.
A lot of
the Earl
Banus.
Grey, we knew that thing was a banger when we got it. What?
Banu. Yeah, Banu
Yeah,
Euphorias.
Benny Earl Grey Euphoria. That thing flew. It's still flying.
Several of those. Yeah,
That
Banu's
thing's killing it.
definitely been having a moment.
Yeah,
you know.
for sure. But yeah, that Monteverde, I was like, wait, what? Like, okay. I mean, we were like wondering because the green carbon fiber is really hard to see. We're like, I don't know. It's like, it's pretty dark. But no, apparently that was a plus because that thing flew.
Panned in on it and did this number.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
can see it.
yeah, it's definitely unique.
But it's not like in your face carbon fiber.
Yeah,
you know?
somebody wanted like a chill carbon fiber. That's the way to
Yeah,
do it.
exactly.
We
All right.
got about 15 minutes.
Cool. We'll do a couple more questions, and then we got some fun facts that Natalie provided. Hot dog buns are attached at the bottom, so it is clearly a taco, not a sandwich.
Is a taco a sandwich?
You know, no. I think generally speaking, it is not. I would consider a hot dog more of an open face sandwich, perhaps. You know, sort of like a tuna melt.
So if you did the whole single bread grilled cheese thing, you just took one piece of bread, put some cheese on it, and folded it, it's no longer a grilled cheese sandwich? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's a grilled cheese taco now? That sounds amazing.
I think it's the bread that makes it a sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's a taco
It's
shell.
still
like a
between two.
tortilla.
It's still between two pieces of bread, regardless if they're attached.
Okay.
It's a sandwich.
Okay. All right. This is a debate that could go on for the ages.
Hot dog sandwich.
All right. John Slyman says, "What's the most bizarre or disgusting to you, food or drink that you've seen the other bring to a meeting or have at a meal?"
One of us does not bring food to a meeting. One of us brings food to a meeting regularly.
Yes. I have lunch meetings almost every day.
Yes.
Yeah, you like my food adventures because I often have bowl
They're never the same.
with assortment of things in it. Yeah.
Like,
But has any of it disgusted you though?
I wouldn't say disgusted. Surprised.
Sure.
The combination of things that you have kind of chosen to put into the same bowl has been unexpected at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sometimes have a utilitarian approach to my lunches.
Yeah. You know, there will be just kind of like fruit and lunch meat in the same bowl, which
Regularly.
is
Yeah.
it's uncommon.
I don't eat them in the same bite, you know?
Nope.
Don't want to put it in multiple dishes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Absolutely. Nothing weird. Drew has brought MREs to eat as his meals before.
Not to a meeting, but yeah, I do love MREs. They're fun.
Yeah.
They're like a little Happy Meal.
Yeah.
They've got prizes and treats, and you don't know what's in it.
Yeah.
And every now and then you find a little Tabasco sauce.
Yeah. No, I usually.
Finding those in deliveries instead of the Tabasco sauce?
You what?
You're going to find Tabasco sauce bottle?
No, I'm keeping the Tabasco sauce, obviously. It's only 3 ingredients in there. Did you know that? Tabasco sauce, 3 ingredients.
I didn't know that.
Amazing. It's perfect.
Okay.
Everything.
I thought you were gonna tell me what the ingredients were, but I'll just leave it hanging.
It's just like salt, vinegar, and red pepper flakes, I think.
Is it?
No, yeah, something like that.
Okay. I don't know.
Spicy.
I don't like hot spicy stuff, so I don't need it. Drew usually goes to let his dogs out at lunch, so I usually don't see what he's eating. But he comes back, and I've worked through
It's
my
more
lunch.
conventional than your lunches, I will say. Yeah.
Fair enough, but I don't see you eating it. I don't witness it, so I don't know what
No,
you're eating.
honestly,
You could just be telling me.
It's
you're
all
eating something.
leftovers. I've been eating better in the fact that I haven't been like going out to eat fast food as much since I've been going home and letting the dogs out. But also I've been eating more because I'll just have leftovers, but I kind of like have the same portion as the night before dinner. So I'm like eating like dinners for lunch, and I need to stop doing that. I need to like just use small plates, and I think that'd be fine. Mm-hmm. Someone's using a trumpet.
There's a very weird sound out there.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know what that noise is. It won't pick up on the microphone, so
Nah.
Drew and I are both just like,
Yeah.
All right, I got a question in here for Janaea, actually, if she's up for answering it. Rob says, what's the biggest thing that Janaea has learned or been excited by in her first year in the fountain pen industry? So, Janaea, if you're up for that, you can think about that for a minute. If you want to come up here in the microphone and answer it, but you don't have to. So, while you're thinking about that, we have another important question. Is cereal soup? From Lefty Lucy.
If it was, Janaea would eat it more often.
Hot cereal.
Hot cereal.
Hot
yeah,
cereal,
we need-
oatmeal.
Yeah.
Janaea has a specific hatred for cold breakfast food
Yeah.
that she makes known about the
Yeah.
office.
She's been quoted as saying oatmeal supremacy a few times.
Yep.
I love the
cereal
idea.
soup?
I love the idea of cereal soup. That just makes me happy. Just like
Yeah.
marshmallows in my soup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
I don't know. I'm a kind of a cereal purist.
Well, here's
I
another
think
thing. Like,
cereal
is
cereal
cold
its own
soup
category.
still soup?
I think it's gross.
But I mean
So-
that is still soup. So cold soup can exist. So how is cereal not soup?
I don't think the temperature dictates what it is necessarily.
Is it cooked? Like soup is cooked though at some point, I believe.
Yeah, well, pizza is
Yeah.
also hot, but if you eat it cold, it's not pizza anymore. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So you can eat a sandwich and you can toast it, and it's a hot sandwich.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? So I don't think the temperature dictates what it is.
I'm gonna next time I have cereal, I'm gonna sit down and enjoy some cereal soup.
Well, you can think about it like that.
Some Lucky Charms soup.
That's right. That's right. And then I got another question here. Huffpuff says, zombie apocalypse is happening. What one pen and one other hobby item do you grab to help you survive?
A hobby item. Now, does it have to be a
I
hobby?
got a lot of hammers.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
got a lot of hammers.
does it have to be a hobby that I'm currently interested in, or can it be a hobby like shooting bazookas?
Let's say it's an item you have to have in your possession. Like that's something you have to own right now.
I have my Lord of the Rings sword.
You do. That thing's like 4 feet long.
I wouldn't use that. I have a katana in the attic. I would go grab.
Okay.
Right next to my 8-foot tall Vigo the Carpathian. Sword, can't go wrong with that. And which pen? A nice apocalypse pen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, what's an apocalypse pen?
The Schrade tactical pen would be good. A tool.
Do you see what you've done?
A tool pen. Very versatile. Very versatile.
Gasp.
The Jinhao
Sigh.
Dragon would be pretty hefty.
Oh, so you're thinking you're
you
gonna
could-
hit people with it?
What else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do?
All right, at this
I
point,
don't-
which do you dislike more, tool pens or dots?
All right, here's the thing about dots. There's worse candy than dots, everybody. The fact that dots exist in places they shouldn't, that is what I take issue with. Dots should be in Cracker Barrel with all the other weird crap that nobody wants. They're fine. I would still eat dots before I'd eat circus peanuts. Heck yeah. But the fact that they kind of weasel their way into the CVS candy area, I'm like, no, you leave. This spot could be taken for something better. You go back to Cracker Barrel where you belong. So that's my problem with dots. The tool pen now is just a plague on, my psyche.
He's gonna need a mental
They're-
health full day.
Like
So-
tomorrow.
Yeah, like that.
Like tomorrow, right?
Now tomorrow's back to work.
I do have a story about.
So apocalypse
but-
pen though. So if we're going route where we're actually like trying to kill zombies with pens, then that's totally different.
What else are you trying to do? Become friends with them?
Hey, pens.
They
are
want to eat
a-
you, Drew. They
right,
want to
but no,
eat
that's
your
what the
brain.
katana is for. The pen is for my mental health. For like, I need to write some notes about the apocalypse. Somebody might read them one day, and
For who? Who's reading? Have you seen
Somebody-
Walking Dead? There's
somebody might-
nothing coming out of that.
Somebody might read my notes and be like, this is how we kill them because this guy wrote down that they're weak to, to Boss Cologne from 1992, and now we can, we can reverse engineer it and spray them down and they'll melt, like because this guy wrote it down, not with his
Yeah.
tool pen. So I would just pick a very resilient pen. Like something pretty beefy.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I don't know.
Ian Schoen's pens, maybe.
There we
Those would be
go.
pretty
A
durable.
shown pen would be solid. Yeah, 100%. Let's go with just like a beefy little pocket six.
There you go.
Yeah, like a brass or something.
Pretty
like
solid
that.
one. Yeah. I'd go with the Schrade tactical pen.
Yeah, you already have one.
Because I'm thinking everything's a weapon at that point.
Yeah, this is
you
you're gonna
know?
do is just like hammer.
There's no rules anymore. And then I would choose a like bow and arrow, like archery. I feel like that would be good. I don't have to get too close to the zombies. If I miss a bunch of shots, then I would stab it with the pen. You know, so I got options.
Solid.
I got options.
Attach a pen to the end of the air.
I don't know that would necessarily work. If you got a good arrow, that would be unnecessary. But you know, well, I don't want to ruin the pen. You know, I still want to write with it. There you go. Janaea, do you want to come up and answer your question? I don't want to put you on the spot, but we can sort of wrap it up here. And then Natalie wrote us some fun facts that are unverified, but we will keeps in the tone of the normal thing. So come on up, Janaea. Absolutely. Oh, here we go. Have a seat, Janaea. Welcome.
Hi.
It's Janaea, everybody. Woo!
Hello there.
All right. So what's been the best part of your first year in the fountain pen industry?
Honestly, it's going to be repetitive, Brian. It's going to be that shimmer potion that I can put in all my inks. It's like you get all these inks that everybody loves, like the Infinity inks or the document inks. And you're like, snooze fest, boring.
I need some
want
glitter.
something. Yeah, so I'm like writing out something important, just dunking some shimmer in there.
There you go.
More than 1-to-10 ratio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I've just been enjoying trying out all the different pens. They have such distinct features based on where they're made at. So like German pens are totally different from Japanese pens. And I like German pens because they're like precise. But then Italian pens have that pizzazz
You're like,
that I like. Yeah, you know.
Italian!
I'm like, if I could combine like the qualities of like Japanese pens, German pens, Italian pens all into one, I would be over the moon. But I think that there's something to be said that every pen has their own qualities for certain reasons, and that's why I have like 15 in my collection now. So
Yeah.
I know I can't beat some of you guys,
That's
but I'm building it up.
It's all good. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, they are going to be cutting off this room here in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So we'll go ahead and wrap up the recorded portion, but we're going to stick around for a bit for everybody in the room to say hi. Everybody watching at home, thank you for joining us. We got some fun facts here. Natalie helped pull some of these, which is good because I did not have any prepared. So these are unverified, but don't blame me. All right. So apparently approximately 10% of the world are left-handed. 10% of the people are left-handed. And then this is the least verified fact, one that we don't quite know. More left-handed people use fountain pens than right-handed people do around the world. I don't know if that's by percentage. I'm guessing maybe it's by percentage. I don't know. That one's a little bit, I'm not quite sure. So do with that what you will. It doesn't seem like it to me, but you never know. I don't know everybody in the world. Allodoxophobia is the fear of other people's opinions. The real name of the hashtag is the Octothorpe, which is interesting. You know, the little pound symbol.
I've heard that.
Let's see here. As of taping today, August 4th, it is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Yeah, right? Japan has one vending machine for every 40 people. A lot of vending machines. And then to watch all previous 145 pencasts, it would take 12 days, 3 hours, 39 minutes, and 22 seconds. Continuous. That's a lot of time. We've been doing this, 3 years? And we've added how much to it now? Another hour and a half. But there we go. That's what we got. Episode 146, everybody. Live at the DC show. Thank you. Yeah. It's awesome. Thank you very much. All right. Right on.